Western Spring Television. Ours it is.
Hi. So, the last time we talked about experiences and what to do while waiting. Today, we'll be looking at inspiration and actions. Hello again. My name is Damilola Raphael, and I am glad, as always, to be back on the bookshelf. Books are priceless materials that crisscross and or transcend generations, ideas, and revelations. We should keep them well. Books deserve to be properly preserved. One sure way is bookmarking. We find people folding the last read page in half, turning up the dog-eared edge, placing a pencil or a pen in or on it, turning the page upside down, placing another book, pillow, or whatever other material on it, and all whatnot. A bookmark is a thin marking tool, commonly made of card, leather, or fabric, used to keep track of a reader's progress in a book and allows the reader to easily return to where the previous reading session ended. Alternate materials for bookmarks are paper, metals like silver and brass, silk, wood, cord for sewing, and plastic. Some books may have one or more bookmarks made of woven ribbon sewn into the binding. Furthermore, other bookmarks incorporate a page flap that enables them to be clipped on a page. Bookmarks. They help you keep track of where you are at in a book. Bookmarks prevent book mutilation. Talk about dog-earing pages, not anymore. Bookmarks come in tons of shapes, styles, and materials, and they help you indulge in your favorite fandoms and hobbies. Bookmarks make great gifts, and so, like experience, bookmarks can be shared. Bookmarks that do not damage the books that they are used in should be acid-free. They also should be thin, so they will not indent the pages they rest between, and include no dyes or decorative materials that might bleed into the book's paper with flat, thin, gentle edges. Now, we were talking earlier on mentioning fandom. If you're a fan of the Harry Potter series, for example, you're a football fan, I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag too much, but whatever it is that you're a fan of and you love so much, you love music, you could actually design your own bookmarks or get bookmarks that have already been, designed and use them. Now, it is important to note that the old Naira notes will be phased out soonest. So please, go through your books to ensure that those banknotes that you have used as bookmarks are brought out now and spent. Otherwise, you're about to start a museum. A very quick breather it will be, and we'll be back to introduce our guests.
James Ajibolaige was a lawyer who obtained his first degree in classics from Nigeria's premier University of Ibadan. Born September 13, 1930, the orator and the polyglot spoke impeccable English, French, Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba languages. His fine diction placed him among classical orators and public speakers like Cicero, the Roman orator. This attribute earned him the prefix Cicero of Esauke. He authored Kaduna Boy, an autobiography, The Teenage Diary, Constitution, and the People, among 6 other books. Bola Ige was a colorful politician, elected governor of Oyo State in 1979 and appointed a federal minister in 1999. He was a pioneer founder of Afenifere, the Yoruba socio-cultural and political group. He invested his political sagacity to propel the group to the height of political leadership and decision-making in the southwest of Nigeria. Bola Ige was assassinated on the 23rd December 2001. His murderers are yet to be apprehended till today. Western Spring Television identifies Bola Ige as a watershed character in history.
You're welcome back. You're still watching The Bookshelf on Western Spring Television. Our guest, Abiodun Oloyede, he attended the University of Ife, where he obtained a first degree in theatre arts, and the University of Ibadan, where he obtained MA in English literature. He rose to the position of acting registrar of Osun State Polytechnic, Ire, from January 2013 to April 2014. He was deployed to the College of Technology, Esaoke, in 2014, where he presently works as the Deputy Registrar in the Governing Council Directorate. He was also the Chairman, Association of Nigerian Authors, Osun State Chapter, from 2010 to 2017, making him the longest-serving chairman. He is a certified referee and sports enthusiast. He is married with children. Abiodun Oloyede is the inspiration behind the tip and action on today's edition of The Bookshelf. Now, I have the improvised bookmark that I found in one of the books that I got from you.
Okay.
And I didn't bring it on set. I actually plan to bring it on set.
Okay.
So I'll definitely be giving it to you once we vacate the set. Thanks indeed for making an appearance on The Bookshelf set.
Thank you very much for having me.
Glad. All right, you've always been in the academic environment. Is it the bore or the excitement of that environment that's made you poetic?
Well, I've always been poetic because I got a little bit of inspiration from my mother. And I've been writing poetry since my secondary school days. So being in an academic environment only served to fuel it more. Yeah.
You talked about your mother.
Yes.
Was she a poet?
No, she used to sing.
Okay.
She was not a poet, but she sings a lot, and I learned so many things from her. Yeah.
Okay, now quite a number of your poems are written for or about other people,
Yes.
and you know some of them are deceased.
Yes.
Have you at any time, you know, communicated this to their loved ones? Some of the write-ups.
Yes.
You have.
There were occasions I needed to show it to some of their siblings or children or whatever, and they quite loved it.
Appreciate it.
Yes, but there are some that I couldn't even get near, you know, and like the poetry I wrote about Mandela.
Okay.
Yeah, I just had it in mind that probably one day I will go to the South African embassy and just give them a copy or whatever, but I've never done that up to now.
Okay, now Mandela is a huge figure.
Yes.
He passed on at quite a good old age.
Yes.
But looking at the likes of Farida,
Yeah.
what was it? Were you able to communicate to people who had their loved ones, you know, pass on at quite a young age like that, you know, with such, you know, scenario? And how were you able to do it?
The Farida poem was actually something that touched the core of my heart. What happened was that I was serving in Kano.
Okay.
So we had a performance, a theater performance at the ABU. And they had this open air theater. So the first night we wanted to perform, it rained.
Okay.
So, and we were to perform for 2 days. So that production was cancelled. We then had to perform the second time.
Okay.
And they so much loved us that they asked us to stay one more day.
Okay.
But we got these CVU cars from Kano. And we had told them that first thing Monday morning, they will get their cars back. So we couldn't wait. And what happened was that that Monday that we didn't wait was when the riot broke out. And back in Kano, I was just sitting down and thinking that we were in CVU cars. And we could have been a victim. So it touched my heart, and that was why I created that dramatic scenario of engaging with
Not
Farida.
like you knew Farida.
I never.
She's just a figment of your imagination.
Yes, but she was a student in Ahmadu Bello University.
Okay, there was a Farida.
There was the Farida.
But you never had contact whatsoever with
I never
that
saw her.
Farida. Just heard on the news.
Yes.
And then she became
So,
your muse.
It was so shocking. I was shivering, literally, in my room in Kano. That probably she was one of those who came for a performance the night before. Because they really enjoy watching theater in ABU.
So since you never had any form of contact with Farida, there was no way you would have reached out, to her family to give them the write-up.
No.
And now it's been published in the Minstrel's Song.
Yes.
Now, talking about muses, your profile states that you're married with children.
Yes.
Let's talk about fantasy. Is Nikki Nicole real?
Is
Nikki Nicole.
Yeah.
Sweet person.
Yes, now she's real. Nikki was a geologist in Polytechnic Ibadan. I started my career at the Polytechnic Ibadan in 1990 as an administrative officer. And there was this beautiful looking girl, Nikki, and I wanted to date her, and she told me no.
Was she a student or a staff?
She was a student.
Okay.
She was a student, and she said no, that she's been betrothed to another person. And I tried all my best to convince her, but she never got convinced. And that was how the love died.
But the love never started from what you... It was not even given the opportunity to see the light of day.
No, I was not given the opportunity, but she encouraged me. We had aunts, we watched some movies together, and but taking it to the other level.
It's ended there.
Yeah, that no, this can't take us to marriage. We can be friends, but no marriage.
Okay, and it was after that period of, was it after she had told you no, or while you were still fantasizing that you wrote the book?
It was when she said no
that you went to write that poem.
Yes.
And I mean, since the love was not allowed to see the light of day, why didn't you just discard the write-up?
No.
Why didn't let it make it to the press? I wouldn't have known that part.
The thing is that, poetry is both a recollection of the good, the bad, and the ugly. So that was an unrequited love. So he died. But I'm sure that wherever she is now, even if she's watching, she'll be smiling at what could have been. Yeah.
Amazing. And then there are no questions, as to if you still don't have anything to do with this person, why do you want to keep that memory alive?
No, because
I mean, you eventually found love.
Yes,
married with kids now.
Yes, because you see, growing up, you pass through a lot of experiences, and along the line, some will be good, some will be bad. So definitely, my wife had her own kind of experiences too. She told me about this and that. So, and all these too, I've told her about when I was serving, when I was working in Ibadan, when I was doing this, when I was doing that. In fact, there's a nasty friend of mine who used to make a lot of fun about me. because it was always like that. When I was in secondary school, if I want to talk to a lady, I will use Shakespearean quote. If you can look into the seed of time and tell me what will grow and what will not, speak then to me. You know, so it almost became part of my character.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I had a very elderly man speak with me. In fact, just yesterday.
Okay.
And he had, something I thought I had misplaced.
Okay.
And then he was trying to tell me he had, and he said, I found your ring. And I don't do rings. And he went, that's Romeo and Juliet. I said, oh my goodness. Okay, very beautiful one right there. Nikki Nicole, wherever you are, you made it to press. And you made it to the bookshelf. Okay, so let's look at some of your writings, like we have on page 16 of the minstrel song Lamentations. Yes. And you're talking about your country, and you talked about year 2000, 2000. This is 2023.
Yeah.
Have those dreams been actualized?
No. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that the country remains the way it was. You know, when we were growing up, everything that people were talking about was the year 2000. That there will be health for all by the year 2000. There will be free education for all by the year 2000. So the year 2000 became so symbolic that people were praying, please let me make it to year 2000. And then what happened? The nullification of election in 1993 happened and all that. So all this made me to write that, well, perhaps by the year 2000, everything will be okay. We will have this. We will not have election rigging again. Injustice in our country will have gone down and all that. But unfortunately, this is 23 years after year 2000. And we are still speaking about the same thing.
After the year 2000, there was also the talk about the Vision 2020.
2020.
And I mean, you wrote that in 1994.
Yes.
How does that make you feel, looking at the fact that this is an electioneering year now for Nigeria?
Yeah. Well, the fact is that it has been said that people who do not learn from history are bound to repeat it. And it's almost farcical when you go on repeating the mistakes of the past and it does not make you happy. Our country should have left this plane. We should have grown bigger. But in life, you must continue to try. And definitely, I think we are trying, but we are not just still getting the results. So we have to put in much more effort.
Much more effort.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back in time to your youth service.
Okay.
And then there was the use of some Hausa language there.
Yes.
Inazonke, did I get that right?
Inazonke.
Inazonke. Okay. Did you just pick those ones, or did you actually learn the Hausa language?
What happened was that when we got to camp, I made it a point that I was going to learn Hausa language. So I started learning it. Fortunately and unfortunately, when we got back, I was posted to Kano town, and where I was living, I was the one that was actually doing the purchasing in the market and all that, until one nasty friend of mine came to live with us. And he was born in Sokoto, so he spoke fluent Hausa. So there was one occasion we were in a bus and I wanted to pay, and I was saying, Gashi, Gashi, and everybody started laughing.
My goodness.
I was so shocked. What was happening? And they told me that I had not spoken it well, that it should be Gashi, which means take. Gashi means ear.
Oh, goodness.
So imagine you want to pay, and instead of saying take, you are saying ear, 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 ear.
My.
So it was like that. So that was why I did not follow up the Hausa language. And if you don't live in a community, it's difficult. But
indeed,
then I still speak a lot. If I find myself in Kano now, I will hail the bus. I will speak Hausa with the driver or whatever,
Awesome.
I can get to where I'm going without actually having to speak English or
Awesome.
any other.
Now let me, I'm going to take this one because, I
Okay.
mean, why mayhem?
Yeah.
And it's on page 25 of
Yeah.
all pages, of all page numbers, 25. Okay, so, I mean, you got to use a lot of may.
Yeah.
The idea behind that inspiration, you wrote it for,
Ire students,
Okay.
they went on rioting.
Okay.
They came and they chased us out of our offices. It was the month of May. So what they did was that they hijacked a lot of buses,
Okay.
took it to Oshogbo, met the governor, did a lot of things, came back. So when they came back, they were so happy. We don't win, we don't win.
okay,
And now they took the vehicle back to the school. If you know the terrain of Ire, when you're coming back, it's steep.
okay,
So when they got back to campus, instead of leaving the vehicle there, they entered the vehicle again and they were shouting. And the brake failed,
my world,
so they crashed.
my goodness.
I was living close to where they crashed, so I had to rush out with a friend of mine, and we had to take a lot of them to the hospital. So it was the next day that I was just thinking about malady, that they were mad. You actually got what you wanted. You have won. But at the end of the day, you had to do something negative to yourself. And that was
More
all
like leaving the stage when the ovation is loudest. You already won,
Yes.
just stay with it. Now, sports and poems, there's energy on both sides. The one
Yeah.
is sober. How do you marry this? Where is the interconnection between this, the nuptials between sports
Yeah.
and poetry?
Oh, well, in fact, I love football.
Okay,
And when you say somebody like Messi, is poetry or motion, or Ronaldo, for example, there are so many
so
things.
poetry is not always sober.
No, no. I mean, you get inspiration anywhere.
Okay.
When I wrote Victoria Island,
Okay,
I had a girlfriend named Victoria, and I was inside a bus moving to Victoria Island,
and then
I just felt, oh, Victoria, Victoria's Island.
awesome.
Victoria Island is my heart, surrounded by her love. And I took
Awesome,
my
began
biro.
to write. I think we should just give your wife a mention on the show. Shout out to Mrs. Oloyede. What's her name?
Yemi.
Okay, Mrs. Yemi Oloyede. Shout out to you. Where can your materials be accessed?
Well,
Your books.
I've not done all these putting it on
Okay.
or whatever.
Okay.
So I still have it
Okay, with you. It can be
with
gotten
me.
from you.
Yeah,
Okay.
can be gotten from me.
Okay.
And before, it used to be at the mass communication department in Ire,
Okay.
because the student there used it.
All right.
So, but for some time now, since I've moved to College of Technology, I said, okay.
You have them with you.
Yes.
There's so much to really talk about, and we just have to go right now. I'm being told by my producer to just begin to leave. Thank you very sincerely, Mr. Abiodun Oluyede, for coming on set of the bookshelf today and reviewing the minstrel songs, one of your materials, with us.
Thank you so much. I really enjoy my time here. Thanks for having me.
Glad to.
Thank you.
Now, dear viewer, whose books do you still have with you and you need to return? What little acts of kindness are you delaying carrying out? That little thing could just have upset or maybe put an unexpected smile on the face of the recipient, as I just did Mr. Abiodun Oluyede, our guest today. Yes, I'm going to give you his material off the set. Simple things are indeed powerful. Document every smile in your journal this year as well. We just may feature you on our broadcast one fine day while we propel ourselves into action. I look forward to seeing you again next time to bring another stakeholder in the book world right here on the bookshelf. My name is Damilola Raphael. Goodbye and God bless.